Hello, true believers, and welcome back to another edition of BK's Bullets. My name is Jim, and today I'm going to take you on a journey to one of the worst animated films I think I have seen. I'm talking about none other than 2007's Superman Doomsday. Now, before I get started with today's episode, I want to remind you guys to comment, rate, and subscribe to the channel. I know Brent would really appreciate it. I would too, because then I could rub it in his face and be like, yo, dog, look at all these subscribers I got for you. And he'd be like, oh, you're the best. And I'm like, I know. But really, he's been doing some really good stuff. So give him some love and stay tuned for more goodness from him. As for me, you know I'll be here each and every week, chipping my way through the DC animated classics. And I stumbled across 2007's Superman Doomsday. I did not like anything about this film, and I think it's weird because it's an older one. It's like one of the first 5 or 6 that they made. I could tell it was an older one because it starts off with this beautiful orchestra theme song, which I actually downloaded, and I'm going to listen to it again and again. I bought it on iTunes. I liked it that much. It's a very inspirational, motivational kind of like energy song. Kind of like the Avengers theme. It just got a really nice, just like trumpets to it. And it just sounds very royal and proper. And it makes you just feel good. So I was like, great, I'm in a good mood. I know the older DC films put a lot more emphasis into the kind of original score, essentially. So I was really excited when I heard this. And I'm like, great, we are going to get some goodness. And then the movie started. And Superman's design is just really, really, really bad. I'm actually going to jump cut over really quickly to show you some of the art, to show you some of the problems I had, because it's incredibly distracting. All right, there we have the first image. This is Superman when he is at the end of the movie with his powers. He's got the long flowing hair like I do, so I'm not going to pick on him too much, and it might be hard to tell in this photo, but he's got some really weird cheek line action, and he has these really pronounced cheek lines that come down that make him look like his cheeks are constantly swollen. It's almost like he's like doing this. That's all I could say. Like, yes, I have a very pronounced cheek line as well, probably because I'm a little overweight. But the Man of Steel is supposed to be chiseled and strong and, you know, nice square jaw, nice stone face. He could take a punch. And these lines are incredibly distracting. And you're probably saying, geez, Jim, you're really picking on these lines. But it gives him this appearance that he's very old. And it gives him this appearance that he is just tired and like, I don't want to be Superman anymore. But the weird art doesn't stop with him. Both Lois and Jimmy have a very weird art style as well. Lois has a really pronounced like line in her chin, which I don't really remember seeing her before. Jimmy undergoes this weird kind of punk rocker look with these flashy, like he's got like gold chains at the end, and he somehow becomes an alcoholic, which means he dresses like, I don't know what an alcoholic dresses like, but I was really distracted by the art in this pretty much throughout the entire movie, and I feel like that's what really kind of hurt the film a lot. Art aside, which it's hard not to just see it because it's there the entire time, the plot was very weird too. I get the Doomsday Saga. I understand it's about Superman dying and then kind of being reborn and coming back as, you know, bigger and better, badder Superman. And in this one, Lex Luthor, in this iteration or whatever, and there's been a couple slightly different takes, and I'm sure Brent could elaborate on that more than I could, but on this one, Lex Luthor finds this Doomsday guy apparently in the center of the earth, just sitting there in like a little pod, just waiting to be opened. And the pod opens, Doomsday comes out and just goes nutso, which was like kind of weird that he's just sitting there. Like, how did he get there? It's not explained. Was he just waiting to kill Superman? It's just not, it's weird. It's very bizarre. Like, why would an alien race go to all this trouble of doing this? Doomsday comes out. Superman and him fight. Superman gets destroyed. Now, he does kill Doomsday in the process, but he also sacrifices himself in this kind of like super atomic pile driver kind of thing. The action in this part was actually really, really good. DC does a phenomenal job of destroying poor Metropolis every single time a movie comes out. They're being thrown through walls and buildings. They're throwing buses at each other. They're fighting down subway stations. And Doomsday is like smashing his head into an oncoming train, and Superman's face is like just like as the train goes by. It was some good action, and I really did enjoy this. And the payoff was good. You know, you felt remorse for Lois. She's crying. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, the Man of Steel has died." And I think they said it was like 10 days later, Lex Luthor hatches this evil plan to clone Superman and bring him back. And now we have an evil Superman flying around who is controlled by Lex Luthor. The story really shifts focus to Lois at this point, which I think I would have been okay with, in the sense that I would like to see more of the vulnerability of, you know, the city and, you know, evil starting to rise up. And there's a little thing with this guy, the toy maker, which is really a throwaway scene, honestly. And you know, Lois somehow becomes like a combatant. She hijacks a helicopter at one point in this movie. She's instrumental in the fight against evil Superman versus good Superman at the end, driving a Humvee around and navigating. There's a scene where glass is falling down on her and everybody's like covering their face in fear, and she's just standing there stoically looking up at it, and she gets her face cut open. In the last like quarter of the movie, she's got like a bloody cheek. Magically it heals in the last scene, but it was like very weird. I'm like, what is Lois like? When did she become like a commando? If you hadn't known anything about Superman, and you sat somebody down and said, hey, I want you to watch Superman Doomsday, and then at the end we're going to talk about like kind of what you thought, first of all, you would ruin them for life. And second of all, I don't think you'd give them a very good take on kind of who these characters or personalities are, like who Clark Kent as a person is, who is Jimmy as a person, who is Lois Lane as a person. You know, yes, they're stoic and heroic in their own way, but they're not commandos and combatants. And it was almost as if like whoever wrote this, let's see if I could even find who wrote this. I think they said it on the title screen. You know, it doesn't even matter. Whoever wrote this, I think it's one of these things where like maybe they felt this was like a way to like redefine Superman or something, or to, you know, put a fresh spin on it. I think Superman dying in of itself, pretty big deal. But I don't necessarily think they did the other characters justice. And I think that's what really resonated with me throughout the whole movie, besides the atrocious art style. Towards the end, it also got even weirder, because then this evil Superman, who kind of wants to put the world under this military rule, almost like a pure version of Superman, he starts killing people. He is ruthless. He's going to basically roll Metropolis with an iron fist. There will be no time for nonsense. He scolds people as he's saving them. Some old lady's cat gets caught in a tree, and he's like, listen, I don't have time for this. I'm going to do it just this once, but like, you need to be more careful, lady. And people are in fear of him. And I wanted to see that played out more, but it's really not. He quickly realizes he is, in fact, not the true Superman. He quickly realizes that Lex Luthor is controlling him with this little chip in his forehead, and he removes it. And then he just continues to be evil. He goes to Lex Luthor's lab and destroys all of the other clone Supermen that are being developed. He essentially kills Lex Luthor, although we find out Lex Luthor's alive at the end. And you kind of get the impression that he just wants to be the Superman and just own everything on his own, which I guess is okay. It's a kind of weird shift from, you know, I want to protect everyone under military rule to I want to kill everyone who opposes me. It totally didn't make sense. The big finale, of course, the real Superman magically is not dead. He comes back to life, of course. You can't kill the Man of Steel. And they have an epic showdown with Lois Lane's help, of course, with this kryptonite gun. Seeing Superman run around with a gun was very weird. I would have much preferred Superman to be able to fight on his own. You know, kind of like when Brent and I saw that they did a double feature where they had the death of Superman and then the reign of Supermen. I don't remember him having a kryptonite gun in that one. I think it would have been better if he was just channeling power and just, you know, the sun rays were hitting him and he was like becoming powerful again, rather than him kind of having to use this weapon to try to like weaken the other Superman, which doesn't even work anyway. Ultimately, he does kill the evil Superman, and in the weirdest finale I think I've seen, finally announces to Lois Lane that he's in fact Clark Kent. Apparently, the whole time she did not know Superman was Clark Kent. So when he goes off on assignment, the day Superman dies, um, I don't know. I really don't know. I get it. The whole disguise thing is goofy when Superman takes his glasses on and off. It's like, oh, you don't see him. What? Okay, I'm willing to overlook that. I get that. That's just kind of like the inside joke of the thing. But like in this weird role reversal, how she didn't know, and then he like reveals to her that he's really Clark, and she's like, oh my God, it's Clark Kent, as if. This is not a good movie. I don't know how to say this any other way. I looked at the Wikipedia before I started the video here, and the Wikipedia article, and it said it had mixed reviews. I definitely think that it should have had totally negative reviews. Although it was a commercial success, it did make them quite a bit of money. I think it was like double the profit. I think it was like $3 million to make, and they made about 10 or 11 million back. So they did pretty good on their investment. Ultimately, this does lead to other DC films. So I guess in that sense, it was good. It wasn't like this bankrupt the DC line. It was tonally all over the place, and artistically just wasn't doing it for me. I think there are significantly better Superman movies out there that show a much better side of Clark Kent and his trials and tribulations. And if you're really jonesing for that Superman arc, like I said, go see The Death of Superman and The Reign of the Superman. That's a significantly better film than this. No bueno for me. No good. No good. With that, I'm going to close out this video review, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Please take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys in the funny pages.